Hey everybody, it is Tuesdays with Alvin once more, here to show off all of the newest pens that we have in the shop. Also going to be announcing right now, but also at the end, that we do have pre-orders starting tomorrow for two new Kaweco pens. We have the new Kaweco All Sport in Iguana Blue, which is like a really vibrant turquoise. And then we also have the Classic Sport, which is made out of plastic, in Mellow Blue, which is kind of a nice, softer blue. So those pre-orders start tomorrow. Keep an eye out on the website. And then on Friday, we have a new release from Esterbrook. We have all new Camdens coming in, which is one of their larger models with flat finials. We'll definitely show it off next week, but keep an eye out for that this Friday. What's up, everybody just joining in? Once again, as always, on Tuesdays with Alvin, if you guys have any questions about fountain pens or anything related to the stationery world, just let me know. More than happy to try to answer all of your questions. All right. What's up, y'all? Definitely leave us likes if you guys are a fan of Tuesdays with Alvin as well. What's up, Pen VP? All right, let's go ahead and get straight into it. If people joining in late, they're gonna have to catch these TikTok lives reposted to YouTube. If you go to Atlas Stationer's YouTube page, you can find my show reposted there when it's over. All right. So first up, let me go ahead and switch my camera. All right, first up, we have the Pilot Custom 912. So this is not a new fountain pen, but it is now offered in 15 different nib sizes. So the Pilot Custom 912 is a large size fountain pen, all black resin barrel with rhodium appointments, which is that silver color, 14 karat gold nibs, and the Pilot Con 70 converter, which is going to come with the pen. The Pilot Custom 912 is known for having the most nib options, so now they are offering all of the nibs. This one right here is a special music nib. If you guys can see, let me try to zoom up as much as I can. If you look closely, you can see that there's actually 3 tines on this pen, so 2 ink slits. What that allows is for greater ink flow in this stub shape. Let's see if I can kind of show off the stub. This nib was originally designed for music notation. That's why it's called the music nib, because it's very easy to write notes very quickly on a staff. But there is a ton of other nib offerings for the Pilot Custom 912. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So I'll go ahead and list them off real quick now, but I know it's a little bit confusing, so definitely take a look at our website so you can see the full nib range as well as a brief explanation of what the nib is. So the Custom 912 is now going to come in extra fine, fine, soft fine, fine medium, soft fine medium, medium, soft medium, broad, double broad, posting, falcon, Waverly, stub, coarse, and music. So a ton of nibs. I know maybe those all don't make too much sense. I'll go over real quickly what those specialty nibs are, and you'll be able to check them out online. So real quick, any of the nibs that say soft at the beginning just means that the nib has a little bit of elasticity, so you can get line variation when you're doing lettering or calligraphy. I'll let you know more about the vein of Euphoria in just a moment, Joey, for sure. So if you see a nib with fine in front of it, or soft rather, that means that it has a little bit of bounce to it. Any of the Falcon nibs that you guys see, Falcon is Pilot's full flex nib, so you're going to get a lot more line variation compared to just one of the soft nibs. So that's what a Falcon is. A posting nib is a nib that is specifically designed to write very fine and a little bit drier, and it's great for writing on paper that fountain pens normally bleed or feather on. So if you're maybe writing a letter to somebody and you want to address the front of that letter, posting nib is perfect for that. A Waverly nib is a nib that just tilts up at the very end. So the tipping, if the nib is flat, the tipping is just kind of like that, where it slants upward. What that does is it artificially lowers your writing angle. So if you tend to write with your pen very high up instead of more at a 45-degree angle, it'll feel more comfortable and smoother for you. The Waverly nib also will write wider depending on the angle. So the higher up you have it, the sharper it'll write. The lower down you have it, the wider it'll write. A coarse nib just is basically like a triple broad. It's just a nib that has a ton of tipping material. So that's what the coarse is. We looked at the music nib, and then all of the other nibs are pretty much self-explanatory. But once again, just go on the product page for the Custom Heritage 912, and you'll be able to see what all those nibs are about. And then this pen is available for $224. It's a great deal. Normally these are a lot more expensive, so definitely get on that. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and flip this camera again. Next up, y'all, we have the brand new Platinum Century 3776 10th Anniversary Edition. So, if you guys aren't familiar with one of the best Japanese fountain pens of all time, this pen was originally developed in 1978 by Haruo Umeda, who is a Japanese writer and fountain pen collector. So it was done in collaboration with Platinum and Mr. Umeda. And they aim to create the best fountain pen in Japan. What they came up with was a beautiful, very sharp 14-karat gold nib pen, beautiful simple body in black resin, and then a slip and seal mechanism is what they coined it. But basically it was one of the first pens to ever have an inner cap, which if you guys don't know, an inner cap basically just creates a second seal around just the nib so that this pen will stay nice and wet and ready to write for months on end. So now that you guys know about the history of the Platinum 3776, 33 years later, in 2011, the Platinum Century was released. So this particular model that I have in my hand celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the Century coming out. So what you get in the Platinum Century 10th Anniversary Edition is basically a throwback to how the pen was originally styled, with this very unique ribbed guilloche effect around the band, a flat finial that says 10th Anniversary, your classic platinum clip, and then numbering. So there's only 3,776 of these in the world. We have number 84 in my hands right here. Glitch the Fulf. This pen would be a cartridge converter. I don't have it in here, but basically you could stick a cartridge full of ink into this end right here, and then it would just write until empty, or you can use a converter to fill from a bottle of ink. If you're curious about that process, definitely check out our TikTok page. We actually have instructional videos on how to fill fountain pens. So great question. Definitely check out our TikTok to kind of see a good visual for that. And then last thing we'll note here before moving on is the Platinum Century 10th Anniversary nib has special stamping. So you get special scroll work, and it does say 10th on there for the 10th anniversary. Cool. So these are very limited, with less than 4,000 in the world. So definitely check them out right now on atlasstationers.com. Available for $396. All right, y'all. Next up, here we go. I have 3 new pens from Montegrappa, sorry. Jim J, Platinum Century 10th Anniversary for $396. Cool. So next up, we have the new colorways for the US exclusive Montegrappa Elmo number 2. Let me go ahead and just set 2 of these down here. So the Montegrappa Elmo number 2 is one of the most classic designs in Montegrappa's lineup, one of their oldest designs as well. So a little bit of history about this pen. It was designed in the 1920s, and it was a very hard time in the 1920s globally. So frugal minimalism was a necessity for this pen, but the inventive design by their first technical director, Heinrich Elmo Helm, would create one of the most beautiful and longest lasting designs in the Montegrappa brand. What he came up with was a very simply designed fountain pen with conical finials. So as you can see, there's a very slight, very subtle point at the top and bottom finial. This allowed for decorative flair in the Elmo number 2 without using any expensive components. Underneath, we have a stainless steel Montegrappa nib, which you can see with that beautiful stamping. This one is an extra fine. And then this material, which we'll definitely have to talk about. So this material, defined by its really thin striping and kind of ribboning pattern, is called Montegraphite. Montegraphite is a proprietary material that is made in-house by Montegrappa, which you are getting on all of these new Elmos, which are US exclusives once again. So this particular colorway right here is called Freedom. Red, white, and blue, very classic. And if you guys can really pay attention to those details, you can see just how gorgeous that Montegraphite material is.
Every time I come in here, it looks different.
Let me go ahead and pull out another one. We have the sea green colorway here. Very light greens, blues. Some darker stripes kind of in between. You can see there's a little bit of dark green and yellow in there. Absolutely gorgeous finish. So this one is known as the sea green. And the next one I have here is Nirvana. Pen VP. These colors are seriously out of this world. Montegraphite is probably one of my favorite types of resin on the market. Of course, you can only get it with Montegrappa pen since it is an in-house material. But this swirling pattern is so unique to Montegraphite. You really don't see such thin kind of ribbons of color in any other brand for their resin pens. HBD Cop asks, can you show how it writes? If you stay tuned, once I'm done showing off all the new pens for this week, I'm more than happy to pull one out with ink and write some names. You can definitely do that at the end of the show today. So let me go ahead and pull these out real quick once more. The Montegrappa Elmo number 2 US exclusives available for $396. Once again, you have that number 6 stainless steel nib, standard international cartridge converter, which is going to come with the pen, so you are set and ready to go as soon as you pull it out of the box. Sweet. Jim J 2001, our store is located in downtown Chicago on Franklin and Lake. So if you're from Chicago, it is the northwest end of the loop, kind of that top corner right where the river bends. I think you recommended a good pen brand for me the other day. I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry about that. But you can always check out our website, imilby1995. We have a section, if you go to our specials tab on our website, there's a section called Getting Started, and that's full of products that we personally recommend at the store for entry-level users. So definitely take a look at that. All right, y'all. So last up, we have an incredibly special and incredibly rare pen. HBD Cop, there is one fountain pen shop in Texas. I don't think it's in Houston, but you could look it up. It was a felt tip pen that takes fountain pen ink. Yookers, Yookers. Yookers. That's the brand, so check that out. Okay. I'm going to need everybody's attention here. This pen is seriously incredibly awesome, super rare, very limited edition. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let me flip over my camera real quick. What we have here is the very prestigious, very rare Montegrappa Prince Albert II of Monaco. This is Montegrappa's debut collaboration between themselves and the Prince Albert II Foundation, which is a foundation that prides itself on its work protecting the environment and protecting and restoring the oceans. What we have here is a pen that showcases the fragile beauty of the ocean and magnifies its desperate plight. What we have is a full stainless steel cap and barrel, or not stainless steel, sorry, sterling silver. That's my bad. This is all sterling silver in a satin finish, sterling silver trident clip, celluloid resin for the top and bottom finials, and cubic zirconium top finials, end caps. So all of these end caps are cubic zirconium, and then you have rare celluloid and full engraved satin finish 925 sterling silver. And then pay attention to the design on this cap before we look further. So the cap itself shows off just this beautiful view of the ocean and basically what the ocean should look like. Full of life, full of animals, beautiful, healthy ecosystem where everything is supporting each other. And underneath, what we'll actually see is how the oceans are in real life. So we have this absolutely massive cap, but underneath it hides the reality of our oceans in 2022. So it's an ocean that's just has very little life, full of garbage. You can see there's just plastic bottles and trash, caps, straws, all sorts of nasty stuff, and some very, very unhappy fish that it look like they're dead on the top. So what we have is very interesting juxtaposition between what we wish our oceans were and what they actually are. So this is a collaboration with Prince Albert II of Monaco, the Prince Albert II Foundation, to help support the restoration of our oceans, cleaning up all the garbage, and recreating balance in our ecosystems that are just so incredibly important to the world. This pen is just 300 units worldwide. So this is just the one that we have in the shop. So if you guys are interested, we have this available on atlasstationers.com right now for $3,250. Only 300 in the world. It's incredibly rare, and I would definitely not wait a moment if you guys are interested in this pen. Once again, that's $3,250. Let's go ahead and pop it open real quick. You have this really unique, bold design by having the cap actually be almost as big as the pen itself, but that is so that they would have all of this beautiful sterling silver to engrave on to create these two beautiful engraved finishes. Let me go ahead and put the cap down for just a moment. What we have underneath is Montegrappa's beautiful 18 karat gold nib engraved with a trident and an ebonite feed underneath which is that type of hardened rubber which allows these pen makers to create beautiful wet flow for these pens. It's really not a bad price. You might have to pick it up. Let's take a closer look at that celluloid material. Check that out. Absolutely gorgeous, deep blue. And then the cubic zirconia finial underneath. Archive books. Pop it on the credit card. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make you decide between rent and a pen, but it's definitely worthwhile. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, y'all. So that was this week's new pens. We had a couple people request some things for us, so we'll go ahead and take care of that now. Of course, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. More than happy to answer anything for you, show you guys any of that product that I just showed you again. Just let me know. Aaron Harris, thank you for the 3 roses. Just became our top 1 viewer. Awesome. Yeah, I hope your rent's not that high. My rent's definitely not that high. I'd probably be homeless. What's up, Bespoke? Give me just one moment. I know somebody asked about the Benu Euphoria. Are you still in the chat? Let me know. And then somebody asked what the Montegrappa would write like. So let me grab one for you, and we'll write some names down. So give me just one moment, okay? I'll be right back. All right, just gotta grab a notebook. Here, I'll just use this one. All right. Which rollerball is refillable like a fountain pen? CT. Euchers are refillable felt tip fountain pens that take fountain pen ink. So it's a felt tip pen, but it can use fountain pen cartridges. So definitely take a look at that. Any chance the Tibaldi Martini Olive ballpoint is available to show? Unfortunately, I don't have it on hand. Bespoke. Okay, so you should definitely come to Chicago. It's a beautiful city. You would have a lot more to do than just the store, but you could seriously spend hours here. So this is a Montegrappa Elmo number 1 in fine. So stainless steel nib, so incredibly reliable, smooth writer. You guys should never ever feel like steel nibs are just going to be worse than gold, because it's really just not the case. A steel nib can definitely be just as smooth. But pretty standard everyday writer. Great for print or cursive. My print is god-awful, so definitely excuse that.
I think the only other order back there.
So super reliable stainless steel nib. So if you guys like that new Elmo number 2 that I just showed off, definitely get a purchase. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and flip this camera back around. Cool. All right, last thing I want to show off today is a couple new inks that we brought in. I've got the swatches already ready to go, so you guys will just have to enjoy them. HPD Cop asks, does it take getting used to writing with a fountain pen compared to a rollerball? Yeah, you know, it does, but writing with a fountain pen is super easy. You know, once you kind of understand the orientation that the pen should be in, it writes just like any other pen, so it's not tricky to write with at all. And I find that a good fountain pen is just infinitely more reliable and long-lasting than any other type of pen. I have pens in my collection that are a decade old, that I use literally every single day. So if you're interested, I would definitely take a look at our Getting Started section, where you can see a bunch of products that are great for entry-level users like yourself. Colin, thanks for the rose. And Joey, still here, ready to look at the Bainu Euphoria. Let me have someone pull one for us. The pomegranate isn't in yet, but I'll get someone to pull another colorway so we can talk about it. Give me just one moment. Hey Josh, could you grab me a Bainu Euphoria, please? Just any? Yeah, thank you. All right, I've got Josh pulling me one of those Bainus, and then we'll talk about it, Joey. If you guys have any other questions, definitely let me know. Austin says that you went to the site looking for a starter pen and looked at the Lord of the Ring pen, the Montegrappa Lord of the Rings Doom. Yeah, that one's super exciting. I hope that it doesn't sell before it comes in. It's always great if they pre-sell right away, but I just want to see it in person, you know? Yeah, Joey, I'm getting that pen right now, so I'll definitely show you. I've got all the time in the world. Energetic Sauce, exciting new order, Midori A5 and a Waringal ink. You're gonna love them both. Midori is what I use for my sketchbook and can't recommend it enough. Okay, so Joey, here I have a Bainu Euphoria. This is a different model. This one is Vodka on the Rocks, but this is the same shape as that new pomegranate one. What you have is a full-size acrylic cap and barrel. So acrylic is basically just a very hard plastic that's able to be very, very shiny, just like this. Underneath, you have a relatively large grip section with very flat threads, definitely not scratchy at all. If you hold your pen right up front, very comfortable. If you hold it further back, it's still pretty comfortable. You know, there's this second section right here that is very comfortable to hold. What you have underneath is a number 6 size Schmidt nib, super reliable. One of the top 3 nib makers in the world is Schmidt. So you can never go wrong when something has a Schmidt nib. And standard international cartridge converter, which is right here. So this is what you'll use to fill the pen with ink. So the new Bainu that's coming out, the pomegranate, is actually an homage to the Armenian official fruit, which is the pomegranate. So to celebrate their successful move to Armenia, they're coming out with that pen, which will be a limited edition. So definitely keep an eye out for it. Sweet. I have another colorway right here. This one is Scent of Irises. So Bainu is known for their very large, bold design in their pens and the very large pieces of flake that are just so eye-catching, so unique. Really no other brands use these very large pieces of flake like that. So there you have it. All right, I hope that answers your question. Ahmed asked, do you have the Pilot E95S fine nib in stock? I'm pretty sure I do. Definitely check our website, atlasstationers.com. All of our inventory is always up to date. So if you look up the E95S in either colorway, you'll be able to see what nibs we have available. But again, that is a regularly stocked item, so if you don't see what you're looking for, sign up for restock notifications. That way we'll let you know as soon as the pen's back in stock, and then you can make your purchase right away. Are there any other pens comparable and in the same range as a Pilot Custom 823? Eyeing the 823, but curious about other options. Yeah, you know, that price range is actually very competitive with the fountain pens. But what I'll say is the Pilot Custom 823 is the only gold nib vacuum filling fountain pen in that price point. So if you're looking for a pen that's comparable, you're really looking at pens that immediately start in the $700 to $900 range. Most notably like the Visconti Homo Sapiens, you know, has very similar features, large gold nib, vacuum filler, you know, easy to carry. But honestly, if you're looking at the 823, I really can't recommend anything else. Yeah, you know, if you're looking for that vacuum filling mechanism, there's really no better. Good question, though. Cool. All right, real quick, y'all. I'm going to show off these new inks, and then I'm going to have to get going. But first up, we have the brand new Robert Oster Burgundy Chocolate Notes. This beautiful dusty burgundy, absolutely gorgeous. This is done with a dip pen. Excuse my wiggly handwriting. Ahmed, we do not ship to Saudi Arabia. We ship anywhere in the United States, U.S. territories, and military base APOs. So if you're on a military base and you have an APO address, we can ship to there. Otherwise, we do not ship internationally. Sorry about that. Love this color. Kind of a sucker for these darker colors. Next up, we have Robert Oster Glistening Orange Rumble, which is a very gorgeous kind of tangerine orange with silver flake. Do we ship to Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only Canada, though.
CT, we do ship to Canada. So that is the exception to what I just said. Sweet. The third ink that we have released from Robert Oster is part of their Muddy series. This one is called Muddy Grass. It's a beautiful kind of slate green. A little bit of sheening, but you probably won't get any out of this ink. There it is with the dip pen. Pretty gorgeous green if you don't mind me stating my opinions. And then I have from Diamine Kensington Blue, which is a gorgeous, bright, neutral blue. If you guys are looking for that perfect blue shade, this one is definitely another contender. Kensington Blue. Very stable ink, not too much shading. There's a little bit of shading and sheening here, but that's just because we like to saturate our swatches really well, just to show off all of the potential qualities of the ink. All right, y'all, that was Tuesdays with Alvin. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Of course, I'll be in next week. Same time, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central. If you guys have any questions for me, definitely save them until then. Otherwise, you can always reach out on our DMs. You can always email me if it's an important question. All right, y'all. Kev, thanks for the GGs. GGs to you. Thanks, Dylan. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Peace out. Like our TikTok posts. If we get to 1 million, we'll bring Brendan back. Otherwise, we'll keep him out there, you know. All right, see y'all.